we're on. Pretty exciting.
Driving my car, I can drive fast, can go far. Driving my car, I can drive fast to where you are. From where you are, I can see things I've never known. But these things, they seem a long, long way from home. Come to your window, now it's clear, now we're free.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Making Meaning with Joel Corda. That's me. I have a special guest tonight. We'll get to him in a few minutes. I asked him what he wanted to hear because he was around during some of the first albums. So I'm going to play one that he requested that I put in a film that he worked on. A song called Long Gone. Do you want my answer now? Will you find it in the morning? Rolling over in your bed, just tapping you on the shoulder. Not long gone, just can't cast all his doubts way out. Long gone, I'm gonna find those chances I didn't take. Ya-da-da, ya-da-da. We should have taken it slow, should have taken it easy, and laid all of our cards down. Now there's nowhere else to go, but long gone. I just can't cast all these doubts away, and I'm long gone. I'm gonna find those chances I didn't take. Ya-da-da, ya-da-da. Where I fear I'm getting older, waiting for my life to begin. Yes, I'll admit, I've seen better days, nights that would not ache. Watching the shadows fall, those pillows where you lie. It's not enough, not anymore, to get this dog to stay. Lord, I'm getting tired of work, just leaning on this counter. Got dreams in my head and things that won't matter. And I'm looking down the road, maybe then I'll miss you, just waiting for the dawn and singing sad love songs. Thank you very much. So, I need to do a little bit of shop talk. I got a great message from our tourism department, Great Falls, Montana Tourism, and they were thanking me for their support. I realized I had two of them on my show back to back. Had Liz on to talk about the Great Beyond Film Festival and Shannon to talk about all of the things she's doing. The movie, The Feisty Women, got into the Berlin Film Festival, I think, too. I did some of the music for that, and actually all the music for that. So it's going great, and it was very sweet. It was a nice surprise. Got some those little macaron look like hamburgers, but they're candy. Are those macarons? Yeah. That's okay. Good. I love that I talk to the guests, but I don't show you who it is. It's one of my favorite moves. I'm going to play one from... Actually, I think these are all... Nope, this one's Saint Somewhere. It's as Irish of a sounding song as I probably have in my repertoire. It's called Don't You Weep. In the darkness of my room, from the hole where I don't speak, if by chance, darling, you lose me, then darling, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep. If perhaps the mood should strike you, and you think you can forget, if maybe you could absolve me from the sins of which I speak, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep. Don't you be fooled, the hands of darkness, they're out there turning tricks, and this love is all that can fight it, and this love runs so deep. Don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep. Don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep, don't you weep. There we go. All right, your wife is chiming, and she wants 500 miles. Sorry, Holly, can't do it. Now on the TikTok, maybe. I have been running the TikTok lives on the Friday and Saturday. It's wild. I have no idea, but all of a sudden it's like, where are all these people coming from? It's beautiful. I just don't know what I'm doing. Joy Keller, checking in. Beautiful. Any of you got something you want to ask or say before? And again, I will get to our guest here pretty quick. A lot of you were very sweet. I mean, when I was talking about my eye, it reached out to me, said very nice things, encouraging things to me. I appreciate that. had a good week at the gym. So, I mean, that always makes me feel a little better when my eye doesn't work. My favorite bit, though, is there's a kid in my class that I kept pretending I couldn't hear because my eye was bad. So, huh? David Blair writes, wait, are you taking requests? It can only be the originals, David Blair. And I got to play the last one that our guest asked for because he put it in a movie. So we'll do that. This is a song I wrote for the lovely Nadine Corda. It's the first song I wrote for her, actually, because most songs are written for Nadine Corda. It's on Everybody's Dog, almost 30 years ago. See if I can play it. Well, I don't want to leave you alone tonight. That's not right. Well, I don't want to leave you alone tonight. So I'll just take you with me. You could put up a fight. We know there's just one girl I want to see, 'cause I'm more than need you. Well, I can't look another way. Would you say that I have sinned? There's no taking this in stride. Well, we know just where to begin. Well, after all your storybooks have lied, well, all those lies told in the dark, well, I won't let them break your heart. Hearts like ours were meant to be, chasing more than in-betweens. If you'd only come with me, you could show me what the night brings, where each word means I love you. With everything you do, I just fall apart. Because I more than need you. But I can't look another way. Well, I don't want to leave you alone. Woohoo!
One of my favorite albums.
Thank you. It does go back a long ways. Too long. Yes. Oh wait, what am I? You know what? I'm gonna run the ad so that I can figure that out. Perfect. Here we go. O'Boyle Steelworks.
Strength, story, steel.
That's O'Boyle Steelworks.
Every knife we forge is one of a kind, built to last, built for you. From custom blades to hand-etched detail.
Each piece carries history in its steel.
Whether for daily use or as a showpiece for generations, we craft it by hand right here in Montana. Find O'Boyle Steelworks on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, and Patreon.
Strength, story, steel.
Yeah, we are doing it. All right. So David said, "Am I taking requests?" If only. Rory wanted Atlantic City, and we'll let. Oh, I already let you know who you were. Oh man,
Dang it.
so bad at this. Your voice is solid for my soul, old friend. Love you. Thanks, David. Love you too, man. Appreciate that. All right, let me talk about our guest. A sheet for Rory. Our guest today. Well, he's done a lot of different things. But tonight on Making Meaning, we're sitting down with someone who understands a performance in a way that most people don't realize. Rory Schulte is a business owner, a community builder, and a steward of one of Great Falls' long-standing local institutions, Schulte's 38th Street. But beyond that, he's deeply involved in preserving heritage through the ancient order of Hibernians, supporting local causes, and showing up for the community in tangible ways. What I'm looking forward to with this conversation with Rory is that he and I share a lot in common, a background in theater, which means we both understand audience, presence, storytelling, and what it takes to show up night after night. So tonight, we're not just talking about running a store. We're talking about legacy, about culture, about what it means to serve, and about how performance doesn't stop when the curtain closes. It just changes stages. And right now, Rory, I'm showing pictures of you, your headshot, you with your dad in sashes, saw the babies. Now it's the store. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rory Schulte.
Thanks. Thanks for having me on, man.
You got
This is
it.
exciting.
Well, yeah, and you got a lot of people watching the big show tonight.
That's
it looks
awesome.
Like, so
That's exciting.
you drew the Hibernian crowd for sure.
Hey, I'll take that crowd. They're rambunctious, but they're fun.
You're gearing up. Tell us what you're gearing up for, first of all, because
We're gearing up for St. Patrick's Day. As you know, it's just that time of year where chaos ensues until the moment the clock strikes midnight on parade day, and we're all wrapped up for the day. So,
well, Dan, listen, I've gotten cheat notes. So Dan wanted me to make sure that we talked about the food drive.
Yes.
And about how it's you guys do it backwards. It's kind of throughout the whole thing. Can you tell us about the food drive during this bad boy?
So I can add on to that a little bit and just say that one of the things through the AOH, short for Ancient Order of Hibernians, like you mentioned, is charities and missions. That's one of our main goals within the national oversight of all of this. And there's charities and missions, and there's the Hunger Project that we deal with. So what we've decided in Great Falls is for our Hunger Project underneath that national umbrella is to do a local food drive and work with the city food bank and all the things they do. I mean, they already do it really well. So why try and reinvent that wheel? So they're a great partner for us in that. And the way we do it is there are containers around town, but our biggest thing is we want to encourage people to bring food to the parade, because we will have those buckets going down Central with the food drive truck, and they can bring them right out to the street and put them in the containers. And I think that's kind of the backwards way of doing it. It's kind of a fun way of doing it. It allows the community to get involved right up front, right within that parade. So kind of neat. Yeah.
I love it. I know a little more than I am letting on right now, but we'll get to some stuff. You were born into the Hibernians, essentially.
Without knowing it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did that
Absolutely.
start for you? Like, what was your first awareness of?
Yeah, I had never heard of a Hibernian, didn't know anything about him. I came back from California after chasing a dream, and my brother said, "Hey, you're bored. You don't have much going on here." Because at one point I was not doing much. I was trying to do commercials. I was trying to run yogurt for my family at the store, and didn't have a great social life. And so it was kind of like, hey, why don't you come with me? Come check this out. What he didn't really know is that I was really seeking something, and it was that fraternal brotherhood kind of thing. Because when I left the military, I lost that.
I just showed a couple pictures of you on
And
your military.
that's huge. So I think a lot of military guys lose that camaraderie, and they lose that group that they can be close with. And so he ended up pulling me into a meeting one night, and a bunch of guys sitting around tables talking about local Irish stuff. And come to find out, they kind of fill me in, and they go, "No, you're in. Like, we're voting. You're in." And I went, "Oh, okay. Sounds good." And it took off from there, and it became this place where, to be around guys like Dan Reardon and Kevin Heffernan and Mike Walsh and my brother Rob. The names I could throw out there that have been a part of this organization in Great Falls are fantastic. And I've just been super blessed to be a part of it with those guys. And honestly, just that's when I found out about it. So I was in 2014, and the old saying, you jump in with 2 feet, and I definitely jumped in with 2 feet and went a little bit further than I thought I was going to go in it.
Did you go a little further than you thought you were going to?
A little, a little further.
I'm sorry. Let me see.
So that's
people probably thought, why is he obnoxiously
drinking out of a cup?
That tastes good out of a vote. Rory Schulte, national director.
Yeah,
you won this.
I did.
Are you now a national director?
I am. I've got that going for me.
So anybody this side of Missouri? Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty close. So right now I've got Washington, Oregon, California, Montana, Oklahoma.
Okay, where are the rowdiest
Nebraska,
Irish? By
Kansas.
The way?
Oh man,
Butte.
Butte's rowdy. Butte is rowdy.
Under your purview.
Under my purview right now, I would probably say, I wouldn't even call them rowdy. They get after it as Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
They get after it.
I think it's because it's so flat there, and they got.
It might be. I mean, they took me down in a salt mine for their state convention. It was phenomenal. It was the coolest experience I've ever had.
That sounds mafia-esque.
A little bit at times. And it was a fantastic experience. I've never been in something like that. And they said, yeah, we're going down in a salt mine. And I went, oh, okay. Sounds good.
Your
Let's
wife says, the cup.
The cup.
Joy Geller says, go Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, I'm spoiling but you just came back from New York City.
I did.
Where you were up for an award for like the coolest Irish man under 40 kind of. Tell me what this award was.
So it's the publication's called the Irish Echo, and it goes back a long time, right?
Yeah.
So going back to a point where I was listening to people talk, like this is, parents of Irish kids, they didn't know what like the New York Times was, right? But they knew what the Irish Echo was. So they would wait for that publication to come out.
Of course.
So these guys are great. And I was nominated as 40 under 40 Irish American. Nice. So in that whole process, I was one of the only ones from out west. And so what I ended up getting was a bigger award when I got there, which was called the Big Sky Irish Ambassador Award for the Irish Echo. And it's very humbling, to be honest with you. It's the people in the room that night are like giants on the East Coast, right? We're talking everybody from VPs at Stanley Morgan branches and like the big time corporate stuff and
the big weeks.
Yeah. And it was at times felt like I was out of place, right? It's that imposter syndrome thing you deal with. But it's one of those things where when you actually look around the room and you go up and speak in front of people and the response you get back is nothing but respect and love and appreciation for coming out there. You can't beat it.
So you ended up getting a better award than the one you thought you were going to.
Yes. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
This is where the Hibernian, the guys that gave me this cup to make sure that I give the proper, put the proper respect on the name. That's a national director right there. There's only 6 of you, right?
6 of us, yeah.
There was going to be I don't know what the Irish call it when you come in and you're wearing the sashes and you beat a guy up a little bit in celebration. That was what was going to happen.
That was going to happen, yeah.
I have no idea how that would have even looked on the cameras.
It happens. Just looks like a ragtag bunch of idiots.
A lot of shillelaghs just flying around.
Yep, pretty much.
So, yes, you have a lot of people that were quite right. Oh, Kevin Heffernan, right there, giving you a round of applause. Love it. He was one of the ones that was going to be. Joy wants to know if you saw the Carson Archives in Kansas.
The Carson Archives.
The Stratica. I'm going to say.
Yes.
No, you did see them.
At the Stratica. That's where we went down inside was the Stratica. Now, I did not get to go tour the mines. We had a full day of meetings and that. And so I did hear that there's everything from, this is really actually neat, totally off topic, but to go with her question.
Here we go.
it's completely climate controlled. So it's always like 67 degrees down there, right? Humidity doesn't change, nothing changes. So they actually rent this space out to people to like store files, all that kind of stuff. But what I was told, and I didn't get to go see it, but that all the costumes from the Wizard of Oz are actually stored down there and on display.
That's wild.
Because it's the only place they won't deteriorate,
Right.
right? And
Right.
places like that around the country that they do that quite a bit, and this is one of them. So Stratica, yes, that's what it was called, I believe, right?
Speaking of which, she's going to be there a lot in July. I imagine she's volunteering. Is that what's happening, Joy? I'm assuming so.
Awesome.
One of the things we did together was the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, we did. You're like jumping out of line. I'm like going to this point where I'm like, oh, we're gonna start at the beginning, and nope, this is great.
Nope.
We're just gonna bounce around on
Yeah.
this. I like it.
I mean, he brought it up.
Exactly,
Got to do it.
Exactly. Yes.
But okay, so when did you start theater?
I started theater. Well, the very first one was at church, right? You get the opportunity to go do the wise man show, or be Joseph in the nativity. And I didn't understand the process, but I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. And I think the process is kind of fun, like being together with friends and getting to do all this stuff. And it wasn't though until I got to Great Falls High, I decided that I did not like to paint. I was terrible in middle school painting. Didn't really want to do choir because I had some bad experiences in middle school. Like just all those typical excuses we come up with as kids. So I said, I'm just gonna do theater. And I got into a classroom first day with Christina Thiel, knowing that I liked the process.
Yes.
I thought I liked the process, but I didn't know what I was kind of getting myself into. And once I got in, it was lights out, man. It was like, nope, I'm in. And then I was told, hey, you got to come audition for Fiddler on the Roof. And I said, I'm not in town. And Christina Thiel looked at me and said, I've watched you all year in class. I don't even care if you come audition at this point, because I know you're not in town. Like, you're in the show. You're going to come be in the ensemble with us. We're going to put you into some parts. And she opened the door to a lot of those things. And that's when I went to my first rehearsal at Great Falls High. And I think my first rehearsal was like a choreography rehearsal.
Yeah, probably.
And in comes Mike Aspinwall, and he is just larger than life. And this guy pulls me in because he knows I'm fish out of water at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I look like a football player. I do not belong on the stage at this point. And he was the most gracious, compassionate, friendly person to take a kid that he knows is probably not in that environment a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled me in, and he just started becoming that. One of the many mentors that I think you're going to find the theme in this tonight is one of the many mentors in my life that really pulled that together for me. And so Fiddler was the first show, and the memories from it are fantastic. I
remember that show.
There's things you forget, right? In life, there's things you forget, but there's a lot of things that are so monumental. And I think the next type of rehearsals were when we were starting to go through blocking, because we had the choreography halfway down, and now we're going into blocking. And here comes this guy that is going to fill in for half the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a Tevye that was one half,
mm-hmm.
and then the second half, or was it flipped? Were you first week or second week?
I don't remember. I had a wedding to go sing.
Yes, and in comes Joel Corda. And I'm like, who is this? I know who, I have an idea who he is, but
Who's this guy?
Who's this guy, right? And again, one of those guys in the room that, whether he saw it in me or not, you start to bond with people, and you start to find those things you have in common, those little moments. And so one of the things we were talking about beforehand, that's why I wanted him to sing Atlantic City, was I found him on stage one night, pre-show, and it was like second night of us performing. You kind of got the first night over with. Your second night, you're kind of like, well, that's the first night's done. Like, that's what we prepped for. And now it's on to the second night, and you got to come up with the same energy. And I find him, out on the edge of the stage with a guitar playing, and no one was out there with you. And I think everybody else was like kind of this not fearful, but almost like that respect of like, hey, no, he's doing his pre-show stuff. Like, let him do his thing. And I have no concept of what that means, right? No idea that there's a process in place, and maybe not with you, but for some people.
Right.
So
right.
they're being respectful of that. And I'm that guy that walks out on stage and basically says, Joel, hey, my dad's a big Springsteen fan. Like, I know that song. Like, let's, and then the next 15, 20 minutes prior to going up for costume is us just sitting on the stage playing Bruce Springsteen songs. And I could sing with you. No one could hear me, but I could sing a little bit with you. And it was a blast. It was like that, again, we come back to camaraderie. We come back to like that brotherhood of things. That's where it started. And that was where I really learned that I loved the theater, and not necessarily always because of Showtime, but everything else around it as well. There's the whole process is its own. Yeah. It's a team activity.
So you came from a heavily decorated football family.
Yes.
Which is so much fun.
Yes.
In ways for real, in other ways, no. Because if you're the kid that wants to be in theater,
right,
it's a little bit trickier.
Yes.
And I watched you have to. I had some conversations with your dad.
Yeah.
Saying I haven't seen too many under 6 feet linemen make it in the foosball.
Yep.
I have seen those guys make it in the theater though.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see them grow into you being an artist.
Yeah.
What was that for you?
It was really neat. It was being around a football family is a very unique thing, and I think there's people that can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
Football's a really cool thing because it's not about 20 years later. It's not whether I can still do a 3-point stance, right? It's about what I picked up from it. A lot of it applied to the theater. I mean, and I think that's where people go, "Whoa, are you crazy?" Like, yeah, no, I don't have to hit anybody on stage. I don't have to tackle anybody on stage. I don't have to do anything like that. But there's a feedback loop in the theater, just like there is in football, right? There's that communication, that one-on-one, that team effort. I mean, there's all the aspects that go into it. And I think that's what's amazing about that. I saw correlate straight across. And so I was at Greece the other night, and my daughters, this is their first experience going to a show with me.
Oh, that's fun.
Right. And so they want to know why, what'd you do in the theater? What was this where you were at? And they wanted to know who Ida was on the program. And then one of them, I know but you and I don't talk about that. I told them our story, actually.
Your story.
Sorry, my story. My bad.
You screwing up my life, but it's your story.
And then I took a plate to the down near to the dome. Whole nother story. We're not going to get into that right now. But no, they one of them asked, "What was your favorite show? What was your best show? Your favorite show?" And I said, "I can't answer that. They're all unique, right? You'll learn someday that they're all their own thing." And they said, "Well, we want to know though." Like they're still on that level of like, nope, there's got to be the best. I said, well, then ask your noni. My mom was sitting 3 seats down from me. I said, ask your noni. Ask her which one was her favorite and see which one pops up, because that's probably going to be the one that had the most impact because it's mom, right?
Yeah.
And she turned down to my mom and she said, Noni, what was your favorite show that Dad was in? And she said, the day I knew your dad was an actor was the day I saw him in Someone Who Will Watch Over Me. She said, that was the day I went, okay, he's got this. And I remember that transition, because I think that first show, Fiddler, was kind of like, hey, you're out on stage doing this with a team and it's great and it's fun and
good summer fun. Yeah,
and in ensemble roles, they can be monumental, right? Ensemble roles can be so much fun because you can bring 3 different characters to the stage in one night. But they didn't understand that part of it. And frankly, I didn't either. I mean, I was on stage as a Jewish villager and then come back on as a Russian kicking everybody out. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
I'd be whispering to you.
Yeah.
Weren't you just part of this party?
Here? Weren't you just dancing with a bottle on your head?
What kind of asshole?
Yeah. Exactly. And then we did the one acts, and I don't know if you remember the one acts. And again, it was a goofy show. I looked like John Belushi. I had my hair up in a pony on top of my head. I looked like the samurai from Saturday Night Live. And so they thought, oh, it's fun. It's goofy. It's, then I come out on stage as a Southern guy, comedy, a lot of energy, a lot of fun. And they go, yeah, that you did great. That's fantastic. And then you come out in something like Someone where she just knew. And she looked at me completely different as far as acting went from that day on. And I think my dad was in the same boat. They saw also, and this is the great part, there's a big story behind Someone. We don't have to dig into all the details on it, but that's where I gained another mentor. And if anybody actually really knew the pain and suffering and tears and shoes that went into the prep for that show, I think it would be, it's a great story, but it really pulls that energy out of you when you're acting to go, I'm exhausted. I don't know what's, I'm sick. At one point I'm sick.
Well, we brought you in with 2 weeks.
2 weeks till tech. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the first show I directed there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
2 weeks till tech, and it was a experience that I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but it was like 2 days for football all over again, right? And it's this, you show up. I was doing one rehearsal with one cast because it was a show in repertoire, as you remember, and getting to be with one cast and then flipping over to another cast and being at that school from 3:30 in the afternoon after school was over until 7:30, 8 o'clock at night every day for 2 weeks, prepping for this thing. And at one point, Christina Thiel, as one of my mentors, looked at me and goes, your lines for our show, your blocking, you're good to go. You need to go focus on this for a few days. And that was days when we were just hammering away at monologues because it was just such a heavy monologue show. And
it's 3 guys.
3 guys talking the whole time. There's no fight. I mean, there's fights, but the blocking isn't extraordinary. You're chained to a wall. So now you've taken away an actor's 7 of our things that we use on a daily basis on the stage. And you've given us 2 things, each other and lines. And that was the coolest part about that show. Yeah. You take away all the BS. Yeah. Almost said the whole thing.
You go ahead.
You take away all the BS that you usually see on a stage, and that show does. It takes it all away, and you have basically what you have around you for 2 hours. Yeah. And if you screw up, there's no going back. And it was phenomenal. It was a great show, and it was so. That's when I mean, if you want to talk about when I fell in love with it, that's when I fell in love with it, like head over heels.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I know that could be the whole show of everything we talk about and throwing shoes at people.
You could do a whole episode just on Someone. Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, and ghost stories. Someday we'll have you come back and don't do it. I'm telling you right now.
Quit tempting fate.
You will see something. No, I won't. Yeah, you will.
You will. And I did.
And then you ran away.
And then I ran away. Then I was gone.
All right, so let's talk. You get home. You're back from, because you were in LA. You were on Conan a couple times.
Once. Yep, I was on Conan once.
Did some acting work out there. Military's in there too. Come home and figuring it out. You now are you were the heir to the family store. Yeah. What is that? What does it mean to carry a family business with your name on it?
I would argue it's first and foremost, it's an honor. It's a blessing. I don't think people really know the whole story of that business. And I think when you know the backstory, you go, okay, it's even bigger now. It's even bigger to carry that on, right? But it's also, there's some, when we talk about there's a blessing and a curse, right? There's 2 sides of the coin.
You're giving up stuff when you say
do.
Yes.
You do. Yeah. And I've got the most understanding wife. I mean, the first...
Keep talking. I'm going to put pictures in.
I'm saying first 6 years there was...
Here she is.
As an owner specifically, and actually prior to being an owner, my mom, I was doing a lot of the maintenance around the building. So they'd call my mom and go, "Hey, this isn't working," and she'd call me and go, "Get to the store. You know, you got to go deal with this." And rightfully so, I was earning that place to be able to say I can handle this, and it just kind of built from there.
Yeah.
And Holly's been right next to me the whole way.
I just showed your wedding picture.
Oh, nice.
There's me singing at your wedding.
Yep. And no Catholic church has ever heard 500 miles the way that we did it that day, or that we asked for it to be done that way.
Enjoy. I have a picture of you at the Empire State Building. Was that just now?
That was just
There's
last week.
you getting your award.
Yeah.
Is what it. Yep. Your wife. I have not seen your wife in person.
Long time.
Sip, maybe.
Sip and dip. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was probably 4 years ago.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah. That's silly. That's how that goes. All
I
right.
know. That's the curse of life sometimes.
I'm showing the picture of you on set. I showed your headshot.
Which one on set?
You are. It's with a guy. You got your earphones on and looking at a monitor.
Oh, you know what? That's at the fights. That was when I was running live broadcast stuff for.
Oh,
And it wasn't live. It was live. It was more like live to
But
tape.
you
kind
taped
of
it
thing.
live. Yeah.
We did. We taped everything live and put out a national broadcast and
What was that? I can't remember.
221 Industries.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so Corey Smith and Jared Jones were partners at that time, and they brought me in and allowed me to film this stuff, and we all made some sacrifices and
Your wife is helping us. She wrote the fights.
yep, the fights. Yep.
And one of my students apparently, "What's up, Mr. Corda? It's Rachel on my sister's phone."
Hi, Rachel.
Hello,
How are
Rachel.
you?
Yeah.
It's good to
It's
good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you. They're always like, "You have a show, Mr. Corda? You got a show?" I'm like, "No, I don't know what you're talking
I don't know
about."
what you're talking about.
But I see you on TikTok. No,
Yeah.
I don't tickety talk.
That's like Kevin James. Have you seen that? There's like a teacher, and I'm pretty sure it's Kevin James. It's like he started a troll account as Mr. So-and-so that's like a math teacher or something. I'll show you afterwards. You got to see it. It's fantastic.
sounds
But
fun.
yeah, that's right up your alley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
no,
like the
that's-
one with him holding the boom mics and scenes.
Yes.
where he
And
injects
he's just
himself.
hiding like, and he's, yes, it's perfect.
I ruined your whole family name, running the business.
Yeah.
How many years? You 15?
Since we took over?
Took over. I mean, I know you've been doing it longer, but yeah.
Well, we came in 14. I'm going to say we a lot because I include Holly
You
in
need
that.
the ladies on board for this.
Yes. We came in 14 when we got home. We ran the yogurt side. That was when we decided to open yogurt in the coffee shop. So
Nice.
we ran that. And then 2 years later, I kind of was at a stopping point with film. And I was burnt out on it. I did 3 years in LA trying to be an actor, 2 years in Great Falls trying to run all this, stuff. And I had actually been working full time for my parents for about a year and running some marketing things for them and trying to build up that side of the business. And we came to him probably October of 15 and said, "We'd like to buy out your business partner." And very gracious man, been with them since '89, let them run their business,
Yeah.
never questioned what they were doing, always
Right.
just said, "Yep, I'm here for you. Let's keep moving forward." And he came in the door when they called him. He showed up and the next week and said, "Yep, let's talk about a deal." And they sat down and without Holly and I, and they figured out the deal on the buyout. And then they called me in and they said, "Here's the deal. This is the terms. This is what you do. This is what you pay me." He carried my note, which most people will not do.
No.
They want their security. They want their
Yeah.
upfront right now. And he carried my note until 22. So
Nice.
from 16 to 22, and he took my payments, and I'll never forget. This is a guy I've known my whole life.
Yeah.
And he looked right at me after I signed the documents and said, "What you just signed means if you miss one payment, I will show up and take your key. It's over." And I went, "Okay." That was the most real moment in my life, is when a guy that I thought was this guy that, was the sweetest man in the world.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's like, "Nope, this is real now."
His business. Yeah.
And that was a big learning curve for us to figure out how to work our way into the business with my folks and And a funny story about that, another great story about that guy is we had gotten to a point where now there's lawsuits over it, but the student loans that Holly had were getting that crazy interest where you would never pay off the loan.
Never going to, yeah.
And so now we were like, we can't do this. So with the store, the way business works, right? You look like you make a lot more money on tax time than you actually do.
Right.
And so it made it look like we were making all this money and we weren't. And so her student loan was going to quadruple. And we were like, we can't do it. I called that guy and I said, I need you to come to town and I need cash. I need a loan.
Yeah.
And he refinanced my loan that he was carrying on that business on the spot on a yellow legal pad, wrote the terms and renegotiated my entire loan with him so that we could pay these loans off.
You could breathe.
Yeah. And then we could actually figure out how to put our kids in daycare and do things, those are those mentors, those are those blessings in life that came forward and then, yeah, so then we go through COVID and we finally get our bearing, and we go through COVID and
you in a mask.
Oh, yep. There I knew that photo was coming. We went through that and honestly, we were so blessed because we weren't one of the businesses that fell to the statistics of COVID.
Right.
And then by about 2022, when did we take? Yeah. So 2022, it was time. My parents were ready to be done. They were when we bought in, they said, we got 5 years left. Well, they went to year 6 and we said, yeah, we're ready. Let's do this. And so now they're carrying my note and they are allowing me to own that business and make payments to them. And I've never had to talk to a bank. I'm just that lucky and blessed to have those people in my life.
You also did the work. I remember 4:30 going and changing the oil.
Still doing it.
I know.
Still doing it.
No, I know.
And I love, and it's how you keep your fingers on the business. It's how you put in that time, I guess, is one way of doing it. But it's really, if I go to the ego side, it's like if anybody asks why I'm not there at 2:30, I go, well, why don't you come ask me at 5:30 in the morning? And that's the ego side that kind of jumps out.
Yeah.
But when you take the ego away from it and you go, no, I owe this to my staff. Right. I shouldn't have to ask other people to come in and change this oil unless they're rewarded for it. Right. And I have great managers now. I have a great general manager. I have 3 fully functioning managers underneath her. I mean, we run a really good operation and they cover for me and I try to cover for them when I can. And that's how we've decided this place needs to run and super fortunate. And that's putting in the work though.
Yeah.
Those 4 people that work for me have a combined service time with Schulte's of probably close to 60 years, probably 60 years.
You're answering one of my questions, which is what makes Schulte's more than a convenience store?
I know that everybody always says business is business. It's business. It's business. It's not personal. Right. That's that whole thing you hear from people that don't want to make you feel bad for, critiquing you or whatever. And it's like, no, it is personal. What makes Schulte's is it's personal. It's my second home. I was raised in that building. I know a lot about that building. I know where all the nooks and crannies are because I've installed 2 different camera systems in that building. And I think that's what people
got dusty doing it.
Yeah, and I think people forget that when you put it goes a lot further with me when you call me up the next morning and say, hey, I had a bad experience at your store last night. Right? I had a tough experience. I think your staff was having a bad night. Okay. Which one were you dealing with? Who were you working with? Well, I can sit on the phone with you for 15 minutes and I can probably get a better feel for your attitude and how
what's really going on.
Yeah. And I can make it right there on the spot. And say, no, I want you to come back in. I want you to come back in. I want you to meet my staff again. And we want to buy you dinner. We want to do whatever. Right. Nowadays, though, with Google reviews, they go, oh, it's not personal. It's just business. We're just reviewing your business. No, you're reviewing
our
us,
people. Yeah.
And you're being a keyboard warrior. And I guarantee you wouldn't call me on the phone or walk in here and say that to my face.
Right.
And I think that's what's breaking down in society. We want you to come talk to us. We want you to come have that experience with us because you'll see that, yeah, somebody was having a bad day.
You're also not on the interstate. You're
Yeah.
in the middle of town.
Yeah.
People have to try to see you.
Yes. Yes.
That's what has built up since because when I was a kid walking by, that store changed hands so many times, like yearly.
It wasn't like 6 businesses in 7 years,
Something
like that prior.
I mean, it was so many wild things, and then your folks took it over.
Yeah, and that's another fantastic story that I could, because of mentors, where I come from is a big part of who I am, and if I'm half the man of what my dad was starting that store, it's unbelievable. It's such a good story. He was driving down the street one day and was almost tired of his job and didn't know what to, pulled into a parking lot where it said there was an auction, and got a paddle number and held it up one too many times and never told my mom and walked. They said, okay, we need X amount of money down by this date. And they gave him a date, and he got home and he said to my mom, hey, we just bought a store, and handed her the keys. And she tells the story. She cried for 2 or 3 days straight. Didn't say a word for 2 or 3 days straight. And then in true fashion, they just got to work and they just started doing it. And my mom raised the boys and took care of the house, which is a whole other full-time job in itself.
Yep.
And my dad was, when they first opened, so they opened December 7th, 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say he missed Christmas that first year. I think they were open that year for Christmas. And he would walk, because they hucked everything. They got rid of cars, they got rid of everything, and found the business partner and went through the whole process. He would walk to work at 5:30 in the morning from our house on 40th, which is pretty close. We were lucky. Yep. House on 40th and 6th South, and would walk down to 38th and 3rd, and then he would work all day, and then leave there at 10:30 at night after cleaning and swamping and doing everything, and walk home. And he did that for the first 6 months. I think they've talked about how 6 months into it, he finally got somebody else hired. They started working, and then they got somebody else, and it built from there. But
truly ground up.
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if right now, if you said to me, "Hey, go start a business and walk to work every day and be there from 6 to 10," right. I'd probably go, "No, I'm gonna go find a job somewhere else." Right? Yeah. They had a different level of grit back then.
Yeah.
And there's people that still have it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And I think if I had to do it, I think I could figure out how. But man, I come from a long line of pretty tough individuals and people that just went to work. They just worked.
I love it. Your wife says, shout out to Tammy, Melissa, Rosie, and Deb.
I try not to throw their names out there very often, just because I don't want anybody to walk in and steal them. But yes.
So Samantha, Ricky.
I could keep, Samantha, Ricky, Jonas.
I'm going to go through all these pictures real quick.
Okay.
You're not going to know what they are. I'm going to explain them to you because, well,
that's fair.
There's me singing at your wedding. I look like I just got off a bender. Looks very exciting. I didn't. It just looked like it.
You probably had another wedding the night before.
Really had a wedding.
And another wedding the next day.
Then it's you guys. And then it's New York. I'm showing your veteran buddies.
Okay.
And then you against a wall.
Yeah. That was at training. You can tell by that little yellow tip down on the end of the rifle.
There's the set. I saw your headshot. I'm showing the store with a rainbow, double rainbow.
That was a great photo.
That's a great photo. Who took that one?
I don't remember. We credited somebody on Facebook for it.
Okay.
Somebody took it for us.
That's very sweet. You in a mask. You with the baby's firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
I showed your dad with the sash while we were talking about him. Your father-in-law helping you with the house.
Which one is? Oh, that's for doing the electrical panel.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That looks like a lot of fun.
Oh.
Your dad outside.
Yep. My dad and I doing the stonework.
I haven't gotten an invite to this house yet.
I know. We need to have a big housewarming, and we have not had that yet. And that's where
you
it's
just put it together, didn't you? Isn't it just...
Yeah, we just moved in 2 weeks before Thanksgiving.
That's wild.
So
you're surfing here. I just want to make sure I get them all because your wife did
Well,
take
yeah,
the
that
time
was.
to
She
spend
goes, well, what do
these.
you want? I said, I don't know. I'm not good at this. You are the manager, man. Like you handle this stuff.
We're weak,
She's
Rory.
so
We're
good.
weak.
She's so good at it.
Here's you and the girls on the boat.
Yep.
You with the strollers. Clear. It's got to be the parade.
Yep. It probably is me
Yep.
coming. Coming over
Yep.
from the parade line.
Your gold sponsor. The family on a boat.
Family on a boat
Family
again.
on a boat. The two of you. I'm trying to see where you're at here. It's beautiful.
Blue suit.
Nope, you're outside. Looks like a hike, but you're along the coast.
Oh, that's in Ireland. Yep, that's at the Cliffs of Moher.
There it is. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have recognized that. Oh, okay. Back to repeating.
My
Sorry.
hair looks like I got stuck my finger in a light bulb.
You look like you're going to do some 80s rock for us.
Yeah. That was a little windy that day.
A little windy.
Yeah.
A little windy.
Probably worse than Great Falls, and I don't say that about a lot of places as far as wind goes.
I want to make sure this is important, and this is a big one, because I know how much the family has given back to the. One of the things I wanted to talk about is you guys always have the East Junior High kid, the kid of the week, the student of the week.
We actually do that with 4 schools.
Okay, so which ones are we talking?
So we rotate. So you get East, and I'm going to do this out of order because I can't remember what order we go in, but it's East, Lewis and Clark, Chief Joe, and MSDB. And they, once a week, there's a kid of the week, student of the week, and they get to come in and get free stuff. And my parents set it up years ago, honestly, and I can't take any credit for it whatsoever because they came up with this, and they always told people it's for the kid that is a good kid that just might not go. He just kind of goes unnoticed sometimes.
Kind of like our Heisey Awards, where it'd be like you show improvement.
Yeah,
you're always, you're not going to be the smartest kid all the time.
No, but you're polite.
Yep.
You're friendly. You took care of somebody in the lunchroom.
Yep.
You held a door open for a teacher. Those are the kids they wanted to really. I think they made the award because they didn't think I was going to be very smart, so they were hoping I'd get something in elementary school. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding. But no, honestly, these kids, and they're not. It's not that they're not smart either. These kids come in the store, and they're polite. They're bright. They've got so much potential, and they're just the kid that isn't jumping up and down in the classroom like I was, being the class clown. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know anything about those kids.
So you know it's a great tradition we've had for a long time.
I see Patrick Smith says glamour shot roar. That's nice. That's nice. And he identified it as Ireland because he knew that I did not know. What is it about giving back to the community that is so important to Schulte's?
I've never, going backwards, my parents never had what I have now, right? I'm super fortunate where I'm at. But I'll tell you right now, we grew up, we didn't have Kool-Aid. We had
The Walmart.
Albertsons brand Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We didn't have Kraft macaroni and cheese. We had the off-brand. We didn't have real cereal. Sometimes we had other stuff. I think Jeff Foxworthy's got a great joke, like Suave shampoo broke, right? But guess what? I never went without.
Right.
Played any sport I wanted to play. I mean, and this is in a time frame where you really don't understand money as a kid. Didn't have a clue that my parents were struggling to run a business and to basically take care of their family. I mean, when you have you're selling vehicles when I was a year old, I didn't understand that because I had 2 vehicles when I got to that point. Like they had 2 vehicles. They had a really reliable one, and then they had the one my dad drove. It was not.
If it breaks down, you can still hoof it right to the shop.
And
It's
I
gonna be
think
just fine.
I think that in itself, when you're a kid that knows what it's like to work for things, we had to work for stuff. But my brothers and I we didn't have to. We got allowance because we did things around the house. We got paid when we went to work for the store. You didn't just get things, but we didn't understand how set back they maybe were, as far as financially. And so when you're a kid that doesn't understand what it's like to need, right? That whole concept of want versus need.
Mhm.
And I wanted to play sports and I got to.
Yeah.
Right. I wanted to go skiing on a weekend with my buddies, and I got to. I got to do a lot of things
Yeah.
that I wanted to do, but I also never needed a damn thing. Right.
Right.
It was like, here you go. Right. And my dad drove around a beater for a long time for that. When you see that, and then you know what else is out there, and you have kids that need something and don't have it. You have kids that need a better house,
Yep.
or a better lunch,
Better
something as
example.
simple as a better example, a better mentor, whatever it is. That kid, I've never experienced that. And I think that's the valuable part of having a business, where you can actually set an example of how other businesses should operate. And I think the more that we give into our community, I mean, and I might go a little biblical with you here. There's a lot in the Catholic faith for me that has been, the more that I put it out there, the more it comes back. And so there's that part of it that seems like it could be selfish, but it's like, the more I'm going to put out, and we continue to put out and put out and put out, I'm going to be okay. Right. Is that kid going to be okay though?
Yeah.
So if that kid needs a pair of cleats, we're going to get him a pair of cleats, because if he wants to play. If this kid wants to play baseball and he needs money to play, we're going to sponsor him, right? We're going to do everything that we can. And it's not thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars when it comes to one donation for something. We're talking small bits and pieces here and there. But if we can set the example, other businesses can go, well, if Schulte's is doing it, maybe we can get involved, right? So I think that's been a big part of it, is just knowing that I didn't have to struggle. Right? There's too many kids out there struggling, and if we can make an impression with our business, we're going to.
I love it. That solves the question of how do you make meaning? And I don't need to ask it now.
There's a lot of ways to make meaning.
There's a lot of ways to make meaning. Any last words for the people? Anywhere you want them to find you?
No, I honestly, I think it's really neat. Like we've talked about, the more you put out there, and the more you put yourself out there, intentionally or unintentionally, I think people come around and they see what you're doing. And I was so fortunate. And the last thing I will say is, I was so fortunate we tried to send you the speech I had to give in New York.
Okay.
And it was probably one of the better speeches I've gotten to write and gotten to do, because it really gave a great insight into meaning and who we are, and the main purpose of the speech was standing on the shoulders of giants. And the people that I get to be around that have created this foundation for me, from my parents to the AOH to my wife. I mean, I'm so lucky and so blessed that I get a phone call from an old friend that's like, hey, come be on the show. Like, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
Not everybody's getting that phone call. And the more you put yourself out there, the more it comes back around. And I think that's just a great lesson I'm starting to learn at this age. And throwing ego out the door is starting to help a lot. And it's just been honestly, I've been super blessed, and it's been a fun couple of years as I've gotten my head a little bit straighter on my shoulders and figured out some things, and have just really enjoyed getting to start to see some of the fruits of that labor.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have you back.
I hope
You'll
so.
be back.
And we
Schulte.
can do, like we said, we can do full episodes on one topic.
Oh, it's problematic.
Exactly.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Making Meaning with Joel Corda is a Cortico media production, highlighting creators, leaders, and the heartbeat of Montana community. I'll see you next week, every Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Have a great night.